Hello everyone, welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena, playing some more Premier Draft Duskmourn. Is this card any good? Like, I think it is a big top-end card, but red doesn't... I mean, it obviously is that. Red doesn't usually need those. Coordinated Clobbering's okay. I suspect you're supposed to take Trapped in the Screen here. I wonder just how good Draftsim thinks Ghostly Keybearer is. Not that good. It agrees Trapped in the Screen is good, obviously. What do you think of Clobbering? Not that amazing. Well, let's select this for now and just poke around. Surgical Suite. Likes that decently. And the Foyer? Not all that good. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'll take this. Trapped in the Screen's a good card. White's a good color. Not a big fan of Winter. Oh man, I don't want to play green-white again. It's a good card, though. The problem is it's just in a bad deck. I think Unwilling Vessel is pretty good and plays into the, like, white... Well, maybe Piggy Bank's even better. Yeah, it actually doesn't like Unwilling Vessel all that much. The Stick Twister, I mean, it's a 2/2/2 lifelink. Yeah, I mean, sure. But it's not a piggy bank. Yeah, Draftsim agrees. Piggy bank is a better pack one, pick one, and I think, you know, given that we're not taking a white card here, just grabbing a piggy bank is nice. Gremlin is good. Supposedly these red cards are also quite good. These commons. Clockwork Percussionist, one of the better commons in the whole set, supposedly, and Turn Inside Out, better than it looks. I think I want... I mean, there's a Trapped in the Screen, which is quite good, but I think I want the Gremlin. Yeah, it's rated quite highly. A little bit below Trapped in the Screen, according to Draftsim, but red looks more open to me than white, so that's fair enough. What is this card called again? Percussionist. Yeah, that's in the general... These are all rated as pretty good cards. I'll take the uncommon. I don't know. I could believe maybe Percussionist... Like, it's hard to come by 1-drops, right? Whereas 2-drops are pretty common. Ooh. Oh, well... Actually... Grand Entryway or Glassworks are both pretty good cards. Patched Plaything I don't think you really want in this deck. Like, it's okay. Pyroclasm you definitely don't. I kind of like the Glassworks, but... Yeah, especially because red, so far, we have more red cards than white cards. You know, that's not a huge nudge in either direction. But I'm curious what Draftsim thinks about Entryway. Is that good? Yeah, it agrees Glassworks is better. And we're also in more red than white, so that seems fine. Could maybe pivot to red-green here, although, I mean, Inferno isn't terrible. We could easily pick up a red-white land, and none of this green stuff is all that good. Kind of a shock to see Brood Spinner, I guess. But I don't think I'm gonna, like, speculate on that now, am I? This is a very green-black pack. Maybe that's enough of a signal that it's worth speculating on. Because you don't even really want a duel that badly in red-white. I think this is a pretty great card. I'm going to pick it up just in case green-black is a place to wind up. Like maybe red-green splashing black or something. Okay, but we get Norin and Most Valuable Slayer, which are both pretty good. And jump scare is not terrible. So red looks like a spot. I don't know which of these to like better. I think just a 1-drop is pretty nice. Draft Sim thinks they're both like equally good. I don't know. And then here, I mean, you could take Unsettling Twins, but maybe we're playing like red-green? In which case, a Watchdog is pretty cool. Because aside from that Trapped in the Screen, I don't have any other white cards. That was my pack one, pick one. Let's not get married to it. The black here is nothing to write home about. Neither is the long neck. I'm kind of tempted to grab Razortrap Gorge. But I mean, Impossible Inferno is 5 damage, kill anything, draw a card, which is not awful. You could also maybe take Fear of Lost Teeth, but I don't think I will. I'm red, but my second color is up in the air still, so I think a red duel is nice to see. Yeah, and then like there's some okay black stuff here, right? Or a green duel, maybe. I think Skin Ripper is a pretty good card, and it's going pretty late. It's good enough to try. Maybe we can just be Jund Delirium? Speaking of Jund. Land Cycler is more responsible, but it would be fun to play this once. Percussionist Wheeling is kind of ridiculous. It's evidence we should be in red. The gym, of course, would help with winter and stuff like that, but I'm just going to grab the red card that I know I'm playing. Yeah, and then, okay. The red-green land wheeled. So maybe we're doing some kind of Jund thing. Ooh, this is a real card. Yeah, I mean, the double red is a little bit prohibitive, but it is well worth having in anything somewhat aggressive, which every red deck is going to be. And there's some decent cards we could wheel out of this pack. Arabella. Oof. Strong card. But I don't seem like I'm playing white. And there's a Betrayer's Bargain here, which is perfectly lovely. Yeah. Can't take the Arabella. What is this? 1 mana, sack a creature. Add mana? Oh, forget that. Oh, Painter Studio is just great. Yeah, so I don't know. I still don't feel really locked to any one second color even, let alone playing all 3 of these. But I have, you know, support to go either way. Like, what is the deck doing? It's playing red creatures and attacking with them. That doesn't limit me too much. I don't have a ton of stuff that says, oh, your graveyard's got to be full or whatever. Like, I have some. I don't have a ton of stuff that says you got to sacrifice things. I have, like, this. So we could still be kind of anywhere. I do need more cards, though. Thank you. Diversion Specialist is fine, but nothing special. Don't like Killer's Mask that much. Might take a Manifest Dread. Like, I hear Final Vengeance is good, and we do have a Clockwork Percussionist. But if anything, I want black to be a splash for maybe just Winter and Broodspinner or something. Like the Sawblade Skin Ripper doesn't look that good for me. I don't have stuff that makes a bunch of tokens or whatever. It's a 4-mana 4/3. Let's just get this thing that fills up the graveyard. This looks like an easy most valuable Slayer, unless I really wanted Cynical Loner, which, let's be real, I don't. Yeah, okay. A lot of 2s could use a bit more in any other cost. Especially when you consider Painter Studio could often be cast for 2. But, I mean, you know, it's an aggro deck. It wants to play stuff and attack with it. So Broodspinner is like... Okay. Right. Ooh. Beastie Beatdown is a heck of a card. No, that's not what this is. This is Peer Past the Veil. It's just the same colors as Beastie Beatdown. Okay, I mean, that card is whatever. Painter Studio number 2 looks great, though. What do I have for removal? Is it just Betrayer's Bargain? Yeah. Well, no, Glass works. I mean... I think I just want a Bashful Beastie. Some top end. Say its name? I'm not going to get a giant pile of these, but I guess it's an okay card. Frantic Strength, maybe I need some combat tricks and some ways to push damage. But I don't know. Say its name can help out with various graveyard-related shenanigans. Oh, it could take a second. I don't think that's a good play. I think the Mountain Cycler is probably better. I don't know. Maybe we can do, like... I mean, I don't know. Green-Red Delirium, but... That's sort of what I always thought I was doing, but... This fuels the graveyard pretty well. I think this is the only card worth taking here. A little bit of removal. Grab the prize, get me a little bit of draw and some graveyard fuel. This card's okay. I don't think I want a Cultist. I don't really want this either, but it does cost 3, so that's nice. Spinner number 2, Arabella number 2, Trapped in the Screen. I've seen like 4 of these. And it's the only white card I've seen. I think it's just going to be too hard to cast Broodspinner on 2. I don't have that much fixing. I'm probably not running the one I have. So is this any good? Yeah, probably. Clockwork Percussionist is also pretty good, though. Oh, let's take a combat trick. Scorching Dragonfire is immense. What is this? Oh, Come Back Wrong is pretty solid. But we want black to be a splash. Enduring Tenacity. I don't really have any life gain, so that stinks. Live or Die is okay. I'm a little bit tempted by the Gym, though. Maybe I'm supposed to just take a punch spell. I think I probably am. Maybe the Gym will wheel. Another Norin? What is this? An Osseous Stick Twister. Oh, Centipede is nice. Yeah, I think that's better for me than Norin is. Ah, no thanks. I'll take another Centipede. guess. This all sort of does not look good. I mean, actually, Hand that Feeds is, if you have Menace, or if you have Delirium, it's not a bad attacker. Let's get rid of Winter's Intervention. I'm not sure about Norin, but it is a nice, cheap attacker. I think the Brood Spinner has to go. It's just going to be hard to cast. Aha, there. No, it's not. Well, okay. That's a very good card. I was thinking that's the Beastie Beatdown, but it's not. It's Wildfire Wickerfolk, which is very good also. I don't really have sacrificing stuff as a theme. So it's really just like, do we want to splash Winter? I think it could be fun. It might not even be terrible. Well, let's take the rare, shall we? I'm not playing any of this. Or is this even a rare? Is it an uncommon? Looks like a rare to me. The Monkey Wield, that's great news. I thought I was having to choose between that and Violent Urge. Turns out I'm getting both. We can cut the long neck. I don't want to spend 5 mana on that. Inferno if I need some removal or something, I guess. Clown is frankly a clown in this deck. Oh my god, look at my curve. It's just 2. What's your curve? Oh, you know, 2. Still don't want a clown. Definitely don't want this. I don't think Winter is actually all that great. Oh. This is actually bad, right? Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, land cycling. I've talked about this before. Land cycling is only good if you're ever going to cast the card. If you're only using it to fix, you might as well just replace it with a swamp. You'll save 2 mana that way. And a double black card, even for 6, I'm not very excited about. Just going to be too much work. I mean, you know, I do have 2 centipedes. Maybe I could pick up... Maybe I could actually cast a double black card. 2 centipedes and a gorge. It's possible. But I don't think it's a good idea. So, how am I for removal? I have very little, right? Oh, what do I think about these Say Its names, by the way? What do I have that cares about Delirium? Or actually, what cares about my graveyard? It should be a lot of things. This is Delirium, this is Delirium, this feeds Delirium. Delirium, 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 Delirium. So, Say Its name is probably playable. Although it might not be worth the slot. Because I want to be fairly aggressive. I think it's better than Grab the Prize, though. So we can at least cut Grab the Prize. I know Winter is just bad for the deck, and I should just cut it, but I want to, like, see the thing happen. It happened to me once. An opponent played Winter, and my maximum hand size was 1. But it was fine. That was when I was playing the Rooms deck, right? And I got milled all the way down to the bottom. I mean, not milled, right? They were making me draw and then discard rather than actually milling me. But I got down to the bottom of the deck before I finally hit the Promising Staircase to win the game on having 8 rooms. Very good. Or 8 doors. So I don't know. I've never. It doesn't. It's not a ringing endorsement for Winter. Let me say that my opponent was like just content to. The one time I saw it do its thing, I beat it. But I'd still like to try. These are great. I don't want to cut these rooms. You know, I don't think I need Impossible Inferno. I have actually a decent amount of removal, right? I have a Glassworks, an Emergence, a Dragonfire, a Bargain, and also one combat trick. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Say Its Name as like very much looks like not a good card. I don't have some great bomb that I'm trying to mill to. Filling my graveyard is nice, but like I'd rather use the Painter's Studio to draw, I think. Yeah, let's just get rid of both of those and call it a day. 2 swamps seems okay. That way, even if I mill one, I can still pick one up with the Centipede for Winter. But, like, who am I kidding? Winter's not really that... I don't know. I shouldn't be playing Winter. Let's give this a try. I guess to play Winter accurately, like usefully, you want a very low curve, which I don't have a super low curve, but it's not high. I'm not running any of those land cyclers, so I don't have to like spend 2 mana getting a land or whatever. This looks great. I need a green source instead of this stupid swamp, but I can open with either of these. I have my Dragonfire. It's looking good. On the play as well. Hey, knock it off. My monkey. I had a monkey. I think I should be thinking about Scorching Dragonfire right now. Not casting my own, but like which of my creatures would I rather have removed by Dragonfire? I don't know. I mean, I guess... Let's just play the thing that costs all the red pips. It's a better card than Piggy Bank, and pretty powerful. And, you know, the longer it's on the board, the more it's going to damage them. Here comes Scorching Dragonfire? Yeah, okay. But now, if I want to, I can spend a red pip on Percussionist and also a red pip on Piggy Bank. That was one reason the double red card was better there, I think. Oh, Anthropede is definitely a weak spot in our curve, isn't it? It's not much of anything. Do I want a Violent Urge? Like, I could exile this. That would be pretty cool, right? And then maybe just smash out? Yeah, that's a good idea. No treasure for you. Give me a land? Chump. Oh, really? They have their own Violent Urge, I guess? No, they just want to draw. Okay. It's a hand that feeds. Okay, well, we learned they don't have Violent Urge, so I can attack in here pretty freely, I think. I don't know, maybe this was bad for curve purposes and I should have just glassworked that thing. But I wanted to save glassworks for a big creature. Looks like they don't have any. Hey, green. Oh, they can't block, so I can just swing out here. And then play the yard, actually. Okay. I mean, should I play Anthropede instead to get a creature that's useful? It's a little bit less mana efficient. And also, it gives up on the ability to destroy their room later. I think it's just Shattered Yard time. It's early, but let's start working on that life total. Neither of us got any treasure from our piggy banks. Oh, that's fine. Wow. It's another percussionist. Take that, idiot. Oh, boy. I could discard Betrayer's Bargain to blow up their, like, Shattered Yard, but that seems terrible. I can always just pay 4 for this later, right? I think I'm just going to kill Norn with Glassworks. It's not incredible, but... keeps my resources in hand. Sure, let's exile that. Sacrificing the monkey. Because I don't have 6 mana or 7 mana lying around to play this and the centipede. This is an instant, actually. Okay, I pay 2, but I actually want to cancel. Let's attack, and if they don't block, I get in. If they do block, I'll just kill their thing. All right. Hey, this is untapped. Take that. But I still want to go get a forest, I think. I want to play Centipede and get a forest rather than play Anthropede, because I still value blowing up their room after they've invested in it. Or not this room, but some other one, presumably. Also, I could even discard a land to Anthropede to get myself Delirium for Centipede. This is a 2/3. Well. Let's see what we get out of this. That's kind of funny. And I will discard my forest here, just to blow up their room, just for delirium purposes, basically. Okay, I mean, game seems to be going fine. White! They found a plains. They're drawing a card. How exciting. they ordered wrong, right? Should have drawn first and then had the gremlin trigger to possibly use. Okay, so we definitely have to do this turn. That tap looks fine. This being a 4/4 would be nice, and I don't have the green to do this, so I guess that's the plan. Great. Down to 5. And I've got a bunch of reload coming up. So do they, but I have a lot more mana, so... Let's blow up something. Well, let's do this first. See what we're getting. Okay, I mean, this is a lot of cards. 5 mana. Okay. They had to do that proactively, or I mean, before combat at least, so at least I know it's not going to combat trick me. I tapped out of green, so let's play this stuff. And now I know if I attack with a 3/4, well, no, it's going to do 4 damage, right? Yeah, but they can block with these two, and it's just not a very good trade, so I just won't. I can't imagine there's much life gain in their deck. You don't like Winter? It's drawing us cards, though. You don't like cards? I'm the one with stuff in my exile that I have to spend mana on. Smash? These are all lethal, and one of them has menace, so you're dead. Okay. I mean, Winter drew us both 2 cards, which is a symmetrical effect. But it also cost them 5 mana worth of removal an entire turn. I'm happy enough with that. And I did okay mana base-wise. A lot more fuel in terms of like cards I was able to play than I expected to have. I didn't think my deck had that much draw, but it seemed like I hit all of it. All right, both Painter's Studios, both Clockwork Percussionists, Winter. I'm sure there was something else. I hate that they just like put white on yellow. I just can't read it. Pretty good hand. Lots of great early game stuff. Wish I had a 3. You don't want to cast this that early. I don't really care to exile this, do I? I mean, if I just attack, they probably block here. And then they're going to have a 2/2 that I'll want to kill, so I guess I could just kill it now. I don't think that's right. Go ahead and let them, like, block and then block again or whatever. I'm going to play the dog. Which, by the way, matches up pretty bad. Oh, they're not going to do it. Okay. Dog matches up pretty badly against rat. I was hoping they would block before finding out I have a 3/1 back here. I think I still play the 3/1 to surveil, even though it makes their rat better. That looks good, right? Pick up a mountain, I guess? Because I do need quite a lot of red for this hand. Ah, they had another plan for the rat. You should have attacked with it first. Because I'm not trading with the dog. Unless they really, really, really needed this draw to go off. But even then, they could attack, and if I block, they're like, fine, I'll just sack the 2/2, right? I don't know, weird. Yeah, this is a little awkward, isn't it? Because I want to cast this, but then I can't do anything else. I think I just swing here and see if they let me have the treasure. They won't. But they'll get some stuff in the yard at least. Maybe? Or it gets 6 damage in, which I'm very happy with. Really? Okay. A treasure. Wow. For me? Well, in that case... Oops, I meant to put that back in my hand, not actually cast it. I'm going to go get a swamp, I think? No, it's got to be a mountain still. I still have a lot of red mana to spend, and only this one treasure, which I am about to spend. I can't believe they gave me a treasure. Creature and artifact. Whoa. Okay. That's a little bit frightening. I think we're dragon firing this to get in for a bunch. And deny them the draw. This is going to kill you if you don't produce a demon right now. Okay, great. You go to 4 and then die? I should have done this first. In case it hit 2 lands. Yeah, attacking seems like a good thing to do in Magic, is what I'm coming to the conclusion of. The conclusion to which I am coming. Very proper, never end anything with a preposition, right? What a silly rule. Being on the play also seems good. I should write a blog about this stuff. Oliver the Human Z. Okay. This is a bit slow because I don't have any creatures until turn 4. I could develop the Defaced Gallery on 2 so that all my creatures are better. And just hope to draw something relevant. My whole deck is 2-drops? Alright, you've convinced me. It doesn't take much to convince me to be greedy. I love to do it. See? Easy. This turn, I don't have anything great to do. I don't think you're supposed to play Painter's Studio yet, are you? It's really early. I mean, all my stuff is castable, though, right? Like, if I hit 2 lands, I won't be able to play one of them. Oh, well. It's not like I'm running a bunch of expensive stuff. Like, Bashful Beastie would be too expensive, and that's it. Yeah, hit me up with a Painter's Studio, please. Okay, yeah, I can cast both of those. No problem. A hand that feeds first, I guess. Discarding probably Winter. Having no access to black. We'll never get it back, but that's okay. No need to tell them whether I'll be able to play. I guess they can't do anything anyway. Just run out the Watchdog immediately. Should have done it first, actually. So that if I was going to keep Surveil into a swamp, maybe I could keep it or something. Maybe I could keep Winter. Okay, what are you going to do with this fear of being hunted? They have a good... They're looking okay over there. Yeah, that's 2 2/2s. Ooh, that I like. Exile, fear of being hunted. And question mark? I could unlock the Defaced Gallery. Swing in for a bunch. But this would only be a 3/2. They'd have a decent double block on it. Still gets in for like 7. Or they could just trade for both of these, which isn't that great for me. I think holding up Violent Urge is better than that stuff, but I only have 2 red, so I can't also play Norin. Let's just do this. And I think open up the Painter or the Defaced Gallery. See what blocks you want to come up with for this. I assume it's just blocking each creature. Blocking 2 creatures. But I'm keeping their board under control. Piggy Bank. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's like a 1-mana 3/2. Good card for you. So I think it's Piggy Bank. We're definitely shooting this at some point. I could sack the piggy bank to make a treasure, but I guess why not just spend the 2 extra mana and still have piggy bank in hand instead of a treasure? Yeah, when I put it that way. Oh, I could sack the room, but I appreciate this. Let's pay 4 to just destroy this. Hey! Well, now I need my direct removal back. Could play out a 3-4, but actually a 3-2 is with a combat trick is pretty good right now. On the other hand, they just like, yeah, won't get involved in this combat, will they? Now I'm toast. It's hopeless. They're going to gain a bunch of life. All the progress I've made is useless, and they're ahead on board. Ugh. Also, I'm almost dead. Yeah, I should have played out the 4-3. They could have glassworked that too, but at least then I'd have a cheaper card to play this turn, right? Well, let's destroy that before something nasty happens to me. And Norin can't block, though. Like, if I just play out the... Well, okay. I guess this is fine. I'll just discard Norin. Now they can't turn that on for finishing me off. And maybe my first strike is going to be good enough here. Nope. I'll cast a red spell. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe I wasn't supposed to Betrayer's Bargain their 4-4. Just, like, develop a creature and have a combat trick for it or something. Because as soon as they played this, it was like, great, I have to kill this or my game is over. And I didn't kill it. Because I had just spent all my removal on stuff that seemed important to, like, push through lethal, but it wasn't lethal. It was pushing through damage, you know, in service of eventually being lethal. And then they removed my thing and gained a bunch of life all at the same time. And it was horrible. Oh well, can't win them all. Big Boo King, I think, rather than Big Booking, probably. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had an untapped red source. This Black Splash is, like, definitely wrong, but I'm gonna stick with it. I'm on the draw. Maybe I'll hit him out. Okay. Any land is still decent here, so I don't mind that much. Opponent does nothing, huh? This is getting Scorching Dragon fired, perhaps? Yep. It's fine, it's just a 2-2. I don't have a good 3-mana play. I don't really want to just Painter's Studio. Whoa. Okay. You don't see Ticket Booth that often, but it's not a terrible card. Certainly can do something in the late game. If I don't hit another red source, I might have to Painter's Studio. If I do hit a red source, I'm perfectly happy to Percussionist plus Gallery. But doing just one of those two is not good. Yeah, okay, and here comes the studio. Better hit something good. Land plus a useful spell? Well, yeah, kind of. I can cast them both. Incredible. No, I don't have red and black. I have red or black. Okay, so now I could play Swamp and play Winter, which I think is better than playing Forest and skipping Winter, right? It's not like Winter's incredible, but it is a card that's difficult to deal with. It's going to cost them a lot of mana, and in the meantime, hopefully it stabilizes. Oh, really? Okay, this is some combat trick. We don't have to play into it. I can wait until I have Violent Rage. Go ahead. I'd like to wait on Anthropede till they've spent the mana on this, but I may not get a choice. Well, no, I have a perfectly good play to make right now, which is just Most Valuable Slayer and hold up Violent Urge. I guess do it pre-combat. This is a greedy attack. If they have something to kill my Most Valuable Slayer, I'm going to take a chunk of damage for sure. But, I mean, 4 is a lot. Blue. Okay. I guess that makes this make a little more sense. Yeah, when I saw Cryptid Inspector, I probably should have expected blue, actually. Maybe even when I saw Ticket Booth. Because you don't really want this in red-green, usually. You don't want it in anything. So I guess Teamer is the closest to wanting this. Maybe I should just played out the Clockwork Percussionist, even though it... But I'm pretty sure they have, like, Turn Inside Out or something. Okay. I need to be emptying my hand to keep up with Winter. So... I want to go fetch up a land. And I want that land to be probably red? And I want to Dragonfire this, probably, but I want to do attacking first. And then I'll play the monkey. 4/4 First Striker is a problem, I think. Does give First Strike, right? Yeah. And if they kill Winter, I don't mind. If they find some trick. But with Dragonfire and Violent Urge, I can do quite a lot. Actually, Violent Urge is just +1/+0. I already have the first strike. Interesting. All right, damage is fine with me. Turning that inside out. Okay, that's also fine. Winter lives, your head shredder dies. Yeah? No, this cares about manifesting dread, so let's kill this first. Oh, I forgot that this cares about it too. Okay, those are both a little scary. But I have big creatures? I don't know. Play out a monkey? I'm going to have to find some way to deal with this, I guess, eventually. It is pretty scary. How's my delirium? It's 1. Okay, they don't care. They want winter gone. That's fine. It's taking a whole turn. I thought they might want most valuable Slayer gun, actually. The first strike seems like a big problem. What do I know? Okay, none of these are really ripe for being destroyed. So I have 6 mana, huh? I'd like to keep hitting lands, I think. Seems silly when I have all these cards, but they're not lands. Thank you. Okay, I guess this is how I kill the Cryptid Inspector. My delirium count, instant creature sorcery. Any way to get something else in there? No. Tapped too much green earlier, by the way. Well, it'll be fine. Actually, I think this is probably... Well... I was going to say, let's pop this open. But I already have enough to attack with, right? Plus a Violent Urge, should things go in a weird direction. And I want to develop the Needlehead. They have their own Violent Urge? Or no? No, they didn't block. Okay. Upkeep. Oh, right, because this is going to damage them. Yes. Arena automatically put a stop in their upkeep. I thought, what the heck are they doing putting a stop in their upkeep? But no. This is just like this card got the shouldered treatment. Big creature. On the other hand, opening up both defaced galleries and swinging seems very difficult to deal with. Opponent chooses to hold up 5 mana. Well, that's a little bit suspicious. 8? I have 8 mana. That's pretty cool. I think I do just unlock both of these. And go for it. Let's give this first strike because it's the one that is at risk of, well, these are both. This is at risk of being double blocked. I don't really care if they block the other stuff. Growing Dread, sure, make it 2/2. I don't care. I mean, I kind of care. I would like them to submit no blocks and die, but and this making another 2/2 is getting them further away from that. But overall, I don't mind. 2/2s are not incredible against this board. I shouldn't have played my land actually because of Percussionist's trigger, maybe. Well, this is lethal, so you're gonna have to chump something. Okay. I'm not going to save either of these. They can die for all I care. It was a windbreaker. Oh, and their thing was an Infernal Phantom. Okay, so I missed the chance to play this mountain, but that's fine. These rooms still don't matter, so let's Manifest Dread and play a doggy. Maybe in the wrong order? No, I don't care what I manifest very badly. I just want to make sure I'm drawing something good next turn, so Surveil last. Plenty of deck, right? Yeah. I don't imagine opponent is pyroclasming me, but if they do, I have comeback stuff. Is my deal 1 damage land in here? No, it's still pending. Okay, they gave up. Cool, cool, cool. I approve. Three and 1. Jund never loses, even though the only black card in it is bad and should be removed. Oh boy. You know what? This is keepable. Watchdog on 2, any land gets me Centipede, which gets me red, and then I'm off to the races. I mean, so far in the games I've played Winter, it's been a fine card. Oh, hello, speaking of. The opponent has spent like a whole turn removing it, and it's drawn me stuff I've wanted. I guess we have Winter on 4. I don't know if I want that. Okay, yeah. Exile removal's pretty good, even if it does cost 4. And this doesn't always cost 4. Block? What trick is this? No trick. Okay, I'll still keep that on top. That's 3 lands, right? Yeah, opponent was on the play. They have 3 lands, doing nothing. Interesting. Red should be the second from the right, yeah? Yeah. I guess I never really thought about it. They show you the lands in Wooburg order, don't they? I think so. No, aren't islands usually pretty far, right? I'm not sure. Anyway, Mountain is the one I want this time. That's why they were willing for that to die. Okay, well, no thank you. I'll just pay 4 for this. Instant and creature. I really need more red mana. Let's go digging for it, I guess. I don't like giving them reload. They're using their mana more aggressively than I am. I think I'm gonna just block with Winter. Block the Death Toucher. I mean, if they have a combat trick, it looks bad. But then I'm trading Winter for a combat trick, which I guess is fine. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't have minded some draw, but I'm sure they wouldn't have either. Oh, hello. That's cool for you. Hey! Interesting. Well... I don't really want to play Monkey and, like, double trade into this. It wouldn't be horrible or anything. It's just not mana efficient. If I play Monkey and anything other than Anthropede, I can't really spend my mana efficiently. I think it's Monkey and Anthropede. And then no blocks, and also no attacks. Of course. No attacks sort of goes without saying after I tap out, but I think I also don't have to block here. Nope. Play, huh? That's interesting. I could swing with the Monkey and hope that Scorching Dragonfire finishes off the 4/4. But with all that mana up, that's kind of optimistic. Also, they could block with the 1/1 and kill my Centipede, which is not great. Yeah, because this would only add Artifact. It wouldn't get me all the way to Delirium. So I think instead, we just play out some creatures and a land and chill. That's, you know, if we'd attacked, that could have been something. This doesn't return with finality counter, does it? Oh, it does. I wonder why. I guess we knew that. That's what this is doing here for. I could attack with the menace creature. Does that do anything? Oh, hang on. I want to fetch up a land and discard it. I have to order my triggers manually here. Resolve this first. Yes. Go get a swamp, the land I least want to ever draw. And I'm planning to discard it. a mountain. Okay, well, can't win them all. I don't see any reason to attack here. Oh, also that got... Oh. That got a land into the yard, didn't it? Now attacking with the monkey is not crazy. Because if it dies against Fear of Lost Teeth, suddenly my 2/1s will be 3/3s. And so they don't have a funny little trick. Okay, that's fine. And I'm keeping the land for rummaging purposes, for sure. Oh, that card is so busted. They don't have anything to do, though, with it. I assume they're going to find something. Maybe? No? Shouldn't you have lost Fear of Lost Teeth first? So that you could pick it back up? I think they should have attacked with this. I would have semi-happily blocked. Oh, but I just attacked with this. So maybe I wouldn't have been willing to block. I can't really attack with anything because I need to save Scorching Dragonfire to finish off a 2/5. I imagine they're not even attacking with it. But I have to, like, that's sort of my best hope. Is that maybe they'll somehow attack with this before they play any enchantments? Yeah, can't do anything here. Maybe they won't notice the big bow for the reach. Ugh. Okay. Pretty bad. Should start attacking with my monkey, I guess. Okay. Well, I mean, it's a 2-card way to deal with this permanently. Feels bad. But, you know, we're back to being in the game, I think. They don't really have anything worth reanimating. I think I have to let the 4/4 in. Because double blocking with these two feels really bad, and I need this to turn my lands into cards. So I guess I'm just taking 4, and if they want, they can reanimate this. Painter's Studio, greatest top deck in the world, maybe? Sure. I love that they're playing a 6-mana 3/2. Alright, we did it. I still have access to a lot of red mana. Let's take the studio first. Let's tap a bunch of red first and hang on to in case I need multiple green for something. this. Oh, only once per turn. Boo. I should have discarded a forest. No, yeah, well, so I could play a mountain, but I guess it doesn't matter. If I'm flipping this, it's costing a treasure anyway. And I'm not flipping it right now, so I guess it's fine. Do I attack with the 2/2 here? Yeah, they would have to double block to kill it. This is fine. Oh, I could have, that's true. I could have flipped this to let me exile something they block, but I don't want to do that. I just want to let it die. Yeah, I told you this was an insane draw. I said, oh, wouldn't it be great to draw this? It would be the best thing I could draw. And then I drew it, and it was insane. It was great. Now I don't feel so bad about double blocking this. What the fuck? X is 2. So I'm going to have to pay 6 life to stop them from reanimating my stuff. Okay, I guess. Norin and I think the Gremlin, right? The 3/3 Vigilant is pretty cool. The Menace is really nice. And so is turning these into lands. I assume I have more 2-mana creatures left. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 draws that would trigger this. Yeah, just get rid of it. I'll pay 6. Just a brick or 2 from you would be nice. Okay, you get a land. Oh, that's fine, you can have it. Return that card under your control. Ah. I can't stop this one because it died under their control. That's true. Luckily, I hit an answer. That's also a threat. Now they can't pay 3 life ever again. I almost wonder if it's worth never playing a creature so I don't have to pay to prevent it going onto their side of the field. I guess winning the game is pretty good, though. Let's cast a red spell. Alright, Mythic Massacre 2 for X's 2. That was certainly exciting. Fortunately, the Painter Studio had put me in a dominant position already. I was able to stomach a big board swing and losing 6 life. And in case it wasn't clear, there was nothing I could have done in the come back wrong interaction when they like killed my creature and got it back. I could have paid 3 life if I had wanted, but it wouldn't have stopped them getting the creature. Because they got the creature back on their side as part of come back wrong. And only then was I offered a trigger saying, pay 3 life or your opponent will get this card under their control out of your graveyard. Which, since it wasn't in my graveyard anymore, there was no point paying it. Then when it died to come back wrong's trigger, again, there was nothing I could do because it died on their side of the field. And although it died into my graveyard, the new wording just says return it. And so it doesn't matter whose graveyard it's coming from. Is that new, or has that always been how, like, return it to the battlefield? I guess it probably always was. It used to say return it to the battlefield under your control. It didn't say, like, return it from your graveyard, usually, to the battlefield. So anyway, it was certainly lucky that, you know, after they drew 2 huge cards, right, Me Took Massacre 2 and Come Back Wrong, that I drew, like, 1 good card, i.e. Glassworks. You know, if I had missed that, the game was over very quickly. But the game was also over very quickly if they hadn't drawn Me Took Massacre 2 into Come Back Wrong. I'm glad I was able to deal with that 4/4 Death Toucher, even though I did end up having to double block it. If I double blocked it earlier, it would have been better, of course. Piggy bank into Painter's Studios, I guess. Or maybe something else? Depends. Yeah. Wouldn't be horrible to Monstrous Emergence that. I guess that's next turn's play, is Monkey plus Emergence. I could also Monkey plus Defaced Gallery and just go absolutely nutso mode. Hit him for 6, right? Like, isn't that great? Then I don't have to worry about Shard Mage's Rescue or something. I think that seems pretty cool. Yeah, you can have a 2/1. I don't care. Okay, just plain cycling. Sure. It turns out I don't care about a 2/1 after all. First Striker's kind of annoying. I'm thinking I'll Monstrous Emergence this and play another Defaced Gallery. Like, somebody call the cops? This should be illegal? I don't have any cards, but like, look at this. There's 4 cards just sitting here for my own personal use, and I have a treasure, which, yes, I'll spend it. Give me a creature. All right, Hellbent on turn 4. Let's go. That's a red deck for you. Hellbent, but with deep pockets of value. This is red and green, so I guess we're tapping this way. Monkey! Monkey! Monkey alert! If I want, I can even exile Norn and just cast it again. Instead of trading with their phone? I think I'll do that. It means I have to play this land instead of this one, but that's okay. Right, this definitely is entering untapped. Yes. Bad time to be mono white. A 4-war? How dare you? That's a pretty good card. Maybe I shouldn't have exiled the Norn, because now when I unlock this, if I hit a land, I can't play it. Oh well. But I can play it next turn. Yeah, nice, okay. Glassworks. God, these draws are sick. No. This has been a dream aggro curve out. I didn't have the monkey on 1, but that's all I could complain about. I got creatures when I needed them. I got removal. I got draw. I had this gross room that pushed a bunch of damage and then drew. And we're surviving despite the winter in the deck. Definitely. I'm sure it would be better if I cut that, but I'm committed. I'm locking the deck editor button right now. And we're going to put... If I bothered with unique thumbnails, winter would be the thumbnail. This blows. I mean, does it though? Centipede on 3 for Mountain, like, kind of gives me the hand. I can cast all of these spells eventually. But if I have to wait till turn 3, like, I might as well just jump off a cliff. I'm not going to win. So this is basically counting on drawing a Mountain on, like, turn 1 or maybe 2 to have a chance at winning. And I don't think I should do that. I should just mulligan. This hand is much better. Just get rid of winter and we are good to go. 1-drop removal. 19 turns later, we got him. I mean, we're playing the monkey. Are we attacking with the monkey, do you think? I guess so. Like, I might hit something I can't play. Oh well. Any land is great. Any 2-drop is great. And they don't necessarily want to lose their goat anyway. I think they should block, but okay, great. So they have big plans for the goat, huh? It's 3 mana to activate? Yeah, okay. Noted. Well, I think it's time for a sorcery speed Dragonfire. If they have Hex Mage's Rescue, it's a bit embarrassing. Actually, let's go to combat and see if they have any effects. They do. Okay, let's just attack then. I would welcome a trade, and if they try to trick me, I trick them. Maybe all they have is a land cycler, and, you know, if so, well, whatever. Okay. Well, then I pass. Not a land cycler. Something real. Interesting. The man and his jolly balloons. Well, I'm glad I have Glassworks, and they can't pay for this right now. I think I'm just going to exile a goat to be mana efficient. No, that's so bad. Obviously, we're glassworking the balloon man. What do I do about this goat? they'll be able to turn it into a big creature and discard something useful, potentially. Oh, in red-white? It could be like a Mardu Reanimator. Let's get rid of the goat. Just curve out. Glassworks being bigger by 1 than Scorching Dragonfire is a big deal. There are some very powerful 4-mana things that you like have to deal with somehow. Yeah, my Delirium is creature. Nope, it's instant. I'm just going to run out my 3/4 and call it a day. This has got to be Shard Mage's Rescue. It's holding up 1 mana for them. It just has to be. So they could have used that in response to Scorching Dragonfire on the goat if I'd used that on the turn earlier when they still had mana. Okay, so just keep in mind they have Shard Mage's Rescue. Trapping my 3/4, sure. Kind of annoying. Winter is not at the bottom, is she? She is. Or he? It's really hard to tell. But if I went and fetched a land, that wouldn't be true anymore. So the land I would fetch would be Swamp. Or I could just open up the Shattered Yard. Seems premature. Yeah, definitely Shard Mage's Rescue. I mean, I'm in bad shape here. They have a better board than I do and more cards. Also, mine are lands. Theirs might very well be spells. At least one of them is. Really? Sorcery Speed Plane Cycling. They must have a Reanimate. But you can't do that for 3. Sorcery Speed Planeswalking after playing a Plains. So they have something big and expensive to cast. Let's hold up turn inside out, I guess. That's got to be the scariest color for them to see at the moment. So they have something big to cast coming up real soon. Why would you cycle this? And then just play a 2-drop? I guess I'm just chumping with the monkey like I should have done a while ago. To draw something relevant. But hey, it's stopping 3 damage this time. Okay, I mean, that's the most relevant thing. Punished for the swamp. It turns out I needed another red source. I was thinking at the time I took it, like, you know, that could happen. I could hit, like, Painter Studio into a bunch of red stuff, but being able to make sure I could play Winter if I happened to draw it seemed like a good idea at the time. Really? Ah, they have Shard Mages at Rescue, right. And I have to block this, so I can't block this. No double block. Oh, but I should have blocked like this, because, of course, Shard Mage's Rescue. Oh, jump scare? Sure. I feel like maybe you should just cast that. Proactively for damage. Just how much am I getting in here? Eight, 9 mana. 2/2, that would be 4. Okay, so I can... So it's a little tempting to unlock both of these and then Manifest Dread, isn't it? I think so. I guess not in that order. Now they have to lose the 2/4, which is nice. Decline. And they go to 2, and I have 2 blockers up. So I think I'm looking okay. No guaranteed win or anything. Well, I bet you wish this was a 4/5 flyer, huh? Don't think that matters. I just have easy blocks, though? What is this? That sucks. This creature is lethal, so I will block with this one. Because I have 1 damage here, and this is 1 damage. I'll draw, that's fine. Just out of curiosity, could I cast both of these if I wanted to? 7, 9 mana? I mean, yes, right? So they have to double block this to not die, which means the 2/2 gets in, I guess. I guess they... No, that's don't be too flashy. They could sacrifice something, exiling a combat trick, and, like, right? Although, I guess they could exile removal as well. Yeah, let's just go for this. I'm a little scared all of a sudden. I don't have a guaranteed win anymore, like I thought I did. They can sack tapped lands to frantically search for something. Okay. Oh, no, this does 6 damage. I forgot. I mean, they still could. They could find, like, a lightning bolt or whatever the version is in this setup. Just kill this thing. Okay, You should have sacked lands before declaring blockers. Although I don't think it really matters. Or is it actually... Oh, creature or enchantment. I see. They have to give me this back. So they can't just sack random stuff. Okay. Got there. Yeah, plain cycling their 4/5 flyer when they just didn't have anything big to play is very mysterious. Like, just because it lights up doesn't mean you have to do it. They didn't have any good cards. I don't know what they were thinking. Nothing they played after this needed to be, like, for them to have 6 mana. They had 5 already. They could have just waited, played this. Six and 2? 6 and 1. Playing in the winter bracket. Where, because I'm running winter, I'm facing weak opponents, I guess. Well, it sure would be nice to get another trophy. I had a 3-trophy streak until that disastrous green-white deck ruined my record. Gurg. That's probably some Eastern European name, or maybe Western European. I don't know. Looks amazing. Just percussionist into piggy bank, and then if I've hit a land, I can grab a swamp. If I haven't, I can manifest dread, or maybe manage to crack open the piggy bank somehow and treasure into getting a swamp. Opponent has decided. They will keep, finally. Oh, I forgot I have to attack. I was distracted. There's a fly buzzing around, or some flying insect. Okay, that's fine. It's something I can't... That won't necessarily let me use it next turn, but I can, like, play piggy bank now, tap land, manifest dread. Like, it's efficient enough. Ooh, hello. I can't get them... Not quite. I can get them to 14. Just inches away, huh? Let's play this first. Black, white. Paying 2 mana to get a surprise 3/1 and surveil versus paying 4 mana to get a 3/4. I guess I'll take the 3/4. Oh, this card is mean. I don't like this at all. I guess it's attack all here. You trade for whatever you want. Maybe I should have played the forest so I could turn this face up, but I don't think that's what they're blocking. Yeah. Oh, I guess I should have played this because they're at 13 now. It would be better than having played a boring old forest. That's true. I love getting us to both draw cards. I'm quite low already, and they are not. This doesn't actually kill their creature. I could swing with Percussionist, I guess, and then if they block, I kill it, and if they don't, hey, I got in a damage. Actually, I could swing with these both, now that I look at it. Sure. I could even swing with this, but I don't want to spend the mana to turn it face up, so I won't. Nice. I also like doing 4 damage. I don't have anything to bring back with this. I don't know why they're being so precious with it. I guess they're expecting a Scorching Dragonfire or something. I just have that, but worse. I guess I'll just go get a red source. That's fine. I don't have to show them any of these lands yet. Artifact, creature, sorcery. So a land would be nice, but I can't do that. I can get a sorcery in the yard, but that doesn't help. Shrinking their hand size would be pretty cool. But right now, like, this is already generating value because I'm able to use the cards, whereas they're like, they have too many cards. They can't use them all. Oh, also I have this. I didn't even think about that. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Because this was going to do 2 extra damage to them in my upkeep, in addition to the one it's doing in their draw step. It's a fun little combo I only noticed in game 8, apparently. Yeah. Oh, wait. They sacrificed this. I see. So they can get it back now if they want. I could double block, but I'd rather just attack them. Like, if they replay this, it's just game over, pretty much, right? I just kill it, swing, and they're dead. They'll have 1 mana, which maybe they can do something with. Hopefully not. They could have Shard Mage's Rescue. It could be. It looks like they might. Or maybe Jump Scare, which wouldn't work here. Shard Mage's Rescue is not very common. I'm a little scared to push for it here. They have something for 1 mana, I'm pretty sure. If it's Jump Scare, I win. If it's Shard Mage's Rescue, I guess it's okay. I just don't have to attack into it, except with creatures that could kill it. It is Shard Mage's Rescue, okay. So they're going to gain 3 off of this, assuming they block my face down. Actually, I could swing with Monkey as well. They could eat it and keep the 3/2. I don't think I like that. Oh, but they can pick this back up again. But again, if they spend their turn attacking with this, picking up a 3-mana 2/1 with lifelink, I just have a lot of attacks. No, this is not in the graveyard this time, right? Two lifelinker. Don't like that. Don't like that either. Now they can attack and gain 4. Yikes. I guess I'm blocking with the monkey here, just to draw a card. Because my card draw suddenly got shut off. I could have a combat trick. They should know I don't because Arena auto-passed. But I could be bluffing. I guess I could have carefully hit auto-pass. I guess I should have... Okay, this is a great hit. I might need a lot of red, but I guess I can't need more. Yeah, I have plenty. Are you kidding me? This is sick. I mean, I think I'm just gonna lose this game. Maybe I should have swung with this too, actually. Just flip it up, because, like, I'm not double blocking anything. I thought I might be, but I guess it's a good blocker for their 2/2 lifelink, maybe? Nope, because then they just get it back. Yeah, I think it's pretty hopeless. Getting this twice was a problem, to put it mildly. And I didn't have removal big enough for their 4/4. I still might like top deck Glassworks or something. Then maybe I could come back. But they have so many cards. They're going to have answers for everything. They have this fucking thing in the graveyard again. How do they keep sacking it to Final Vengeance? I mean, good on you, building an Orzhov sacrifice deck. Sacrifice. I don't know what else you're doing. Oh boy. Yeah. At least I get to kill the 3/3, hopefully. Nope, they're just gonna hold back to block. Ah, okay, we got them. A small victory. Maybe. They haven't committed yet. Glassworks doesn't kill the 5/5 anymore, by the way. my opponent is at 16. I mean, there's like 5 damage exile in the deck. I guess I could draw that as well. But with Enduring Innocence, I mean, it's still pretty bad. And I didn't draw that, of course. I mean, I can swing with the 2/2 to get a little damage in, but at this point, it's not looking like winning the damage race is going to matter. I need to somehow be in control against this ridiculous late game deck that has a great early game as well. So let's just play a creature and hold everything back. Triple block. Hope something good happens. Oh my god, the sacrifice is so good! Why am I still here? This game is over. Well, on to game 9, the final decider. We were close. If they hadn't had that Shard Mage's Rescue, they'd be dead. You know, if we'd had one more removal a bit earlier. I'm sure there was some way I could have arranged things a little bit better to deal with their Savior of the Small. That card was a real problem. But I mean, so was the Enduring Innocence, right? They were able to use it as a creature and then sack it as an enchantment to get it back as a creature. Looks great. I got a 1 and a 2 and a punch. Packing a 1-2 punch. There you go. Don't like being on the draw. Which I think I am, right? I usually gloss over those letters. It says who goes first. I wish it was like easier to tell during the game which player had gone first. No, I'm on the play. Great. See? Told you I don't pay attention. Like they printed alchemy cards that say, oh, if you were the starting player, this card's a little bit weaker. Because on Arena, they can just track that for you. And they'll tell you if you mouse over that card, like, oh, you were the first player, or you weren't the first player. But you can't, like, ask in general, which I feel like you should be able to do. Wish I could have drawn the Centipede to get a red source. Oh, never mind, it's easy. Just get it. I could be mana efficient and flip this up, but that's just like not a thing I even want to do. So let's just develop more things instead. Interesting. It didn't give them a chance to respond here. So they don't have anything they can cast for 2 that's a black instant. So that's something we learned. They don't have a plains or a land cycler either. Unless they just drew it, I guess. Let's give the monkey +1/+0 and first strike because there are some 3/2 flash creatures in these colors. All right, down to 8. I like how things are looking. A 2/1 flash. Okay. Shuffle it away before you draw? It should have been before you draw. Why did you say go to draw and then do it? Weird. Okay, got him. Well, that was the shortest game. Turn 4, right? They gave up. I don't think we had any other games that short. What does 17 Land say about that? Was that indeed my shortest game? Surely it was. Yeah, I mean, clearly Winter is unbeatable. Should run it in every deck, I guess. Details. Yeah, we had a couple of 6-turn games, but 4 right there was the shortest. Pretty strong curve out. Tough for them to cope with. Anyway, still doing well in Duskmourn. Like the format. Gonna keep making some videos, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.